कर्नाडाख्यमहिनिवासि जनता भाग्यप्रदैकव्रते श्रीराजेश्वरी सर्वशक्तिभरिते ते सुप्रभातं शुभम्.
Shakti is power that is primordial. Personified as Divine Mother, it has several aspects like creation, protection, and dissolution. In her absolute form, she is Rajarajeshwari. Rajarajeshwari, Lalita, or Tripura Sundari, as known in Sri Vidya tradition, is visualized as an exceedingly blissful mother, three-eyed and four-armed. She carries in her hands Ankusha, the elephant goad, Pasha, the noose, Ikshudanda, the sugarcane stalk, and Pushpabana, 5 arrows of 5 flowers. These represent destruction of evil tendencies, bondage to the phenomenal presentations, mind energy, and erotic distraction by the 5 senses. The ultimate objective of human birth is to realize the Mother Supreme. This objective is achieved by surrendering oneself at her holy feet. The incessant flow of devotees from every nook and corner of the world is a soul-filling spiritual feast in this historic temple of Divine Mother Sri Rajarajeshwari, situated in Bangalore, the capital of Karnataka in India. The temple is strikingly unique because of its structural magnificence, cultural excellence, and spiritual exaltation. Rajarajeshwari Temple is the heartthrob of a sprawling township called Rajarajeshwari Nagar, named after the deity. It is carved out of a once thick forest around the village Kenchenahalli of the Bangalore-Mysore road into an unbelievably captivating cluster of modern houses. The vision of the Divine Mother was realized into a magnificent temple complex by His Holiness Paramacharya Jagadguru Shri 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 Shivaratnapuri Mahaswamigal, popularly known as Shri Tiruchi Swamigal amongst his vast disciples. His Holiness Mahaswamiji is the founder and present pontiff of Shri Kailash Ashram Mahasamsthana, set up in the outskirts of Bangalore, where the air is charged with tranquility and piety. One cool, crisp morning in January of 1960, on an auspicious day, Mahaswamiji was proceeding to Mysore. Just on the outskirts of Bangalore, about 6 miles in the southwesterly direction of the city, he spotted 3 sacred eagles circling up in the sky. He saw in them the images of Durga, Lakshmi, and Saraswati converging into a unified form of the supreme absolute truth called Sri Mata Rajarajeshwari. He got down from the car and walked towards the tiny village of Kenchenahalli. His vision took shape in the course of time, and soon the ashram was set up on the 3rd of April 1960 by the Swamiji. His ambition to set up a towering edifice glorifying Sri Mata got crystallized with kaleidoscopic rapidity. The temple came into existence in 1978. The temple of Sri Jnanakshi Rajarajeshwari is a magnificent edifice in pure granite built in Dravidian architecture. This conforms to the Kashyapa Shilpa Shastra and is of Pandyan period architecture. A wide circumambulatory path called Pradakshina Patha forms the innermost periphery of the abode of the deity, and there is an intermediary prakara that serves as a secondary path to the Pradakshina Patha and facilitates streamlining the inflow of devotees. The third prakara, namely the outermost path, completes the temple in all its aspects in the Pandyan tradition. This is the track where the Navasandhi Utsavam is conducted during Brahmotsavam. As one enters the temple, one is held in awe and reverence by a stunning courtyard, beckoning the devotees into the sanctum sanctorum. Here is where the Anuvettikal Mantapam is seen, in which the flag post, the Dhvajastambha or Kodimaram, is integrated. This is yet another nerve center of the temple activity next to Sanctum Sanctorum. An open pillared hall, Mukhamantapam, and a porch, Antarala or Ardhamantapam, complete the sequence in the journey to the cosmic force. In the Garbhagriha can be seen the splendid stone image of the Divine Mother Shri Jnanakshi Rajarajeshwari, 6 feet high, seated on a throne with her right leg folded across, while her left leg is bent at the knee and stretched below to rest on a lotus in full bloom. The celestial deity enjoys the concert of other devatas, rendering their respective services at her command. She is flanked by Lakshmi and Saraswati on either side. The triple aspects of cosmic force, namely Maheshwari, Vaishnavi, and Brahmi, are embedded in the wall enveloping the Garbhagriha. Lord Ganapati, the Omkara Pranava Swarupa, placed at the southwest corner of the first prakara, is worshipped before the commencement of any festival. Lord Subramanya, also known as Dandayudhapani, at the southwest corner of the first prakara, is ever ready at the service of the Divine Mother. Like Chandikeshwara in a Shiva temple, Chandikeshwari in the Rajarajeshwari temple in the northern side is believed to record the visit of the devotees. She is also known as Koshtha Devata. Shri Kala Bhairava, an essential guarding deity in all Shaiva and Shakta temples, is installed in the first prakara in the northeast corner. Dwara Shakti Devatas, Jaya and Vijaya, the armed goddesses, are guarding the deity outside the Garbhagriha on either side of the threshold. Navagrahas, the representative deities of the sun, the moon, and 7 planets, situated adjacent to the Anuvettikal Mantapam, are subordinates to the Divine Mother in shaping the destiny of mankind. The Yagashala is the sanctified arena where the 5 rituals for the goddess are undertaken. Sri Chakra Mahameru temple is to the south of the main temple outside the third prakara. It is unique and perhaps the only one of this kind. Sri Rajarajeshwari temple is an ideal temple conforming to the definition Nityotsavam Mandiram,
in providing an eye-filling treat to the devotees with the celebration of festivals that are classified as Nitya, Naimittika and Kamya.
As prescribed in the Shaktagama, the daily worship of the deity, called the Nitya Puja, is performed 5 times a day. This, obviously, is to facilitate the devotees to seek the darshan of Shri Mata at their convenience during the day. The early morning puja commenced with the worship of Kamadhenu, the celestial cow. It is believed in the Hindu mythology that the cow is the abode of all 330 million devatas. The daily puja commences with the Nirmalya Darshanam or Vishwarupa Darshanam, which is the worship of the most sublime form of the ever-pure Divine Mother. Subsequent to the Mangalarati, darshan is open to all devotees till the ceremonial bath or Abhisheka. Abhisheka or ceremonial bath performed to the main deity has a special scientific significance. The ingredients like oil, milk, curds, honey, turmeric and more keep the idol lustrous for a long time and thus make it immune to the vagaries of weather. The ceremonial bath is followed by Pratha Sandhya Kala Puja, which is the first elaborate worship of the day. Madhya Sandhya or Uchchakala Puja is performed at noon. While Sayam Sandhya is performed in the evening after sunset. Ardha Java Puja is performed at night and that completes the daily puja. The deity retires for Shayana or the divine rest. Tuesdays and Fridays are considered to be the most auspicious weekdays for offering worship to the deity. One of the very colorful forms of worship is the lemon lamp arati, glittering with a golden hue. Naimittika Utsavas are organized as an expression of joy during natural events like harvest, seasonal transition, planetary changes, and events of mythological significance. These Utsavas generate happiness among the people and delight for gods. They foster the spirit of oneness among the people, irrespective of origin, social status, age, creed, or caste, and remind us of our divine nature. The first of these Naimittika Utsavas is Vasanta Navaratri Brahmotsava, celebrated from the first day of the lunar year to the 9th day, which is Shri Ramanavami, a most colorful festival drawing a multitude of devotees from far and wide. This is followed by Varshabhisheka of the deity which marks the anniversary of the installation of the holy idol, falling on the Anuradha constellation in the solar month of Ani. The third in the series is the Guru Purnima or Vyasa Purnima, of which all gurus beginning from Veda Vyasa are worshipped by their disciples. Following Guru Purnima is Dakshinayana Punyakala, which marks the beginning of the southern descent of the sun, which is succeeded by Sharan Navaratri festival or Dasara, which is celebrated in great splendor. Deepavali is yet another universal, colorful celebration in the pearl string of Naimittika Utsavas, followed by Dhanurmasa Puja, the winter seasonal celebrations predominantly for austerities. Finally, the Makara Sankranti or Uttarayana Punyakala Utsava, the beginning of the northern ascent of the sun, completes the cycle in quick succession, throwing open a vista of vision for the next year. Kamya Pujas or pujas coupled with desires are performed with dual objectives. It is of individual and social benefits. Chandi Homa is performed periodically with the purpose of propitiating Mother Divine to establish peace in all respects. Meticulous planning is required for this homa. Setting the 5 homa kundas is an art by itself. They are decorated with haridra kunkuma and flowers. All other auspicious materials are kept ready for the ritual to begin. Vedic scholars assemble at the Yagashala and prepare themselves for the recitation of the sacred Durga Saptashati. Namaka and Chamaka are recited to charge the atmosphere spiritually. The chief priest or Acharya conducts the rituals. Vatu, Kannika and Suvasini Puja form an integral part of the rituals. Dry twigs from trees specified by the scriptures called Samhit and sacrificial preparations like ghee rice reinforced by a stream of ghee through the Vasodhara are fed into the fire amidst Vedic chanting. The ritual culminates with the Purnahuti.
सा चण्डिकाखिल जगत्परिपालनाय नाशाय चाशुभभयस्य मतिं करोतु सा चण्डिकाखिल जगत्परिपालनाय नाशाय चाशुभभयस्य.
Among all the Utsavas in a temple, Brahmotsava is generally considered to be the most significant. It may be for a single day, 3 days, 5, 7 or 9 days. The 9th day of the Brahmotsava is considered to be the supreme and is called Sarvakamika. Brahma, the creator, conducts and presides over this festival along with all devatas. Starting with the ceremonial flag hoisting, the festival captivates every soul. The glittering idol of Sri Rajarajeshwari with Lakshmi, Saraswati and Vinayaka are taken out in procession every day during the festival. Puja for Lord Ganapati is a prelude to all festivals in the temple. It is customary to obtain the concurrence or anugnya from His Holiness Parama Pujya Shri 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 Shivaratnapuri Swamigal before beginning any celebration.
प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनाम.
The festival begins with an invocative puja for Lord Ganapati, the remover of obstacles. The formal resolve or sankalpa takes place subsequently. This part of the festival, called the Punyaha Vachana, is performed to purify the place. The Kalasha Sthapana, which signifies consecration of water, filled in scripturally prepared pots amidst chanting of mantras.
With the conclusion of Punyaha Vachana, the site is ready for the detailed ritual called Ganapati Homa. This is an elaborate ritual wherein the Vedic scholars chant in chorus hymns from various scriptures with utter devotion.
निषुषेद गणपते गणेषु त्वामा आहुर्विप्रतमं कवीनां नरते त्वत्रिगते किञ्चनारे महामर्तम्.
And now the Homa concludes with Purnahuti, or the final offering to the deity Lord Ganapati. The venue of the festival, as well as the vicinity, is believed to be at the command of an invisible architectural force called Vastupurusha. He is propitiated for conducting the 9-day or 10-day festival in the venue smoothly. This is Vastu Shanti Homa. A hoe full of Mother Earth is collected and placed in the holy altar called Yagashala. This is called Mrutsangrahana in sacred lore. Ankurarpana is the ceremony of sowing sprouted grains in earthen vessels. These vessels are filled with the mud collected earlier. The grains grow through the festival as witness to the ritual performed.
The chief priest resolves to conduct the festival, himself being pure in thought, word and deed by accepting the Raksha or sacred wristband. He himself also is thereby protected from evil disturbing forces. This is Raksha Bandhana.
Pahi mam Shri Rajarajeshwari.
The festival then starts with the spiritual green signal, the Dhwajarohana or ceremonial flag hoisting. As usual, the flag hoisting ceremony starts with the Ganapati Puja,
Elaborate arrangements are made for consecrating the flag as well as the flag staff. They include Kalasha Puja, Raksha Bandhana and Bheri Tadana, which form part and parcel of the ceremony.
At the auspicious morning hour, the flag is hoisted in the presence of Mahaswamigal amidst devotional fervor. The flag hoisting ceremony is blessed by His Holiness and is witnessed by a host of followers and devotees. His Holiness Mahaswamigal visits the Sanctum Sanctorum, where Maha Mangalarati is performed to the Divine Mother.
Imam Sri Raja Rajeshwari Kripa Kari Shankari.
At the evening of the second day of the Vasanta Navaratri Brahmotsava, the glittering idol of the deity, seated in the fascinating Indra Vimana, believed to be offered by Lord Indra for the festival, is conveyed in procession. After the usual worship is over, the deity is taken round the third prakara. This procession is an invitation to the Ashtadikpalakas, lords of 8 directions, and their celestial celebrities like Mahavishnu and Shiva. The procession halts at various places and proceeds being led by Ashtadevatas. These periodical transiting points are called Navasandhis. This preliminary procession terminates at the Yagashala with Purnahuti. Now the procession is thrown open to public view and worship in the Rathavidhi or car street. The procession is given a fitting finale at the ashram gate, where the pontiff receives the deity with reverence. Surya Prabhavahana is the second in the series. As the name itself suggests, the procession is held in the morning, where the sun, the universal illuminator, offers to carry the Divine Mother. The vehicle is decorated like the Lord Surya Deva or Lord of Light. All the ceremonial formalities like Abhisheka to the deity, Sankalpa at the Brahma Yagashala in the presence of pontiffs, as well as Seva Karthas is carried out. The procession is venerated by cultural highlights of the country like the Pambai Udukkai Silambu dance and other folk dances from Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. The terminal point, as usual, is the ashram gate, where the deity is given the ceremonial reception. Chandra Prabhavahana, decorated like the crescent moon, is the next event held on the same evening. The hair plate, styled and embellished with jewels and flowers, is a sight to behold. Devotees long to see their beloved mother in multicolored attire and ornaments. Indra Vimana Utsava is arranged for the second time for the benefit of those who missed the event on the first day. As narrated earlier, Sri Rajarajeshwari is a combination of triple forces, one of them being Lakshmi. Elephant being her vehicle, she is also worshipped as Gajalakshmi. Hence, the Gajavahana procession assumes significance. It is once again followed by Indra Vimana Utsava the next day morning with the usual pomp and splendor.
As Lord Paramashiva, who is otherwise worshipped as Rudra, the Lord of Dissolution, is surrounded by a clan of spirits called Bhutaganas. The Divine Mother is held in reverence by Bhutakis. The vehicle used in the procession is called Bhutaki Vahana, decorated as a female spirit in attendance at the service of the Divine Mother.
Garuda is the sacred vehicle of Lord Mahavishnu.
It is a pleasant sight to see the holy eagle carrying the deity. This signifies the supremacy of the Mother over the Trinity.
The fifth day Utsava in the series of Brahmotsava has a special significance as a mark of reverence to the venerable sage Atri and his spouse Anasuya, who verily had their hermitage in the present-day location of the Sanctum Sanctorum. Here, the puja is performed alternately to the processional deity as well as the Divine Mother in the holy presence of the reverential couple. Later, the deity is seated on the bull vehicle called Vrishabha Vahana, which is offered by Shiva in the reverence to the Mother. Artists from Tamil Nadu are invited specially for the occasion. Yet another spellbinding festival is the peacock vehicle, the Mayura Vahana, which is the vehicle of Lord Kartikeya or Subramanya. This takes place on the sixth day of the festival. The same evening witnesses another colorful event called Hamsa Vahana Utsava. The Hamsa is the vehicle of Brahma, the creator. And here comes the Indra Vimana Utsava for the fourth time. It is fascinating to watch the Mother Divine assume the all-pervasive form of Annapurneshwari, the ultimate nourishing divinity, seated on the celestial cow Kamadhenu. Chandai Melam, the traditional percussions of Kerala, heighten the tempo of the pageant. Indra, the lord of the Devas, repeatedly sends his vehicle to invoke the grace of the Divine Mother, Rajarajeshwari. The penultimate day of the festival, witnesses the horse vehicle or Ashwavahana Utsava.
The festival gets a fitting finale on the 9th day with Rathotsava, a spectacular event of the season. The charioteer of the Ratha is Brahmi, the female counterpart of Brahma. This event is the culmination of a meticulously organized sequence of spiritual, devotional and cultural extravaganza.
The divine vehicle itself symbolizes the point of confluence of Swargaloka, heaven, Martyaloka, earth, and Patalaloka, the netherworld. One of the many outstanding features of the Brahmaratha is that it is decorated with a lovely image of Mahaswamigal amidst the celestials.
The chariot presents a galaxy of gods and goddesses which create an illusion of the celestial abode of the Divine Mother with Brahmi in the middle.
The festival commences with the worship of the Utsavamurti of Sri Rajarajeshwari.
The most auspicious moment of the day is marked by the attendance of Garuda, the divine eagle, which moves in circles in the sky above, coinciding with the arrival of Mahaswamiji in a grand procession at the threshold of the platform.
Worship is offered to the chariot and its accessories of transit before it departs for the procession. The chariot is now ready to leave the platform. With a signal from His Holiness Mahaswamigal throwing flower offerings, the chariot is given the consent to leave. With all the might and devotion amidst chanting, the gigantic ropes attached to the chariot is pulled and tugged by hundreds of hands, and it finally rolls off on its journey, bearing Her Divine Grace, Mother Rajarajeshwari. The exuberance of the devotees, devoutly pulling the car, irrespective of caste, creed, age, or any other discrimination, displaying their devotion to Sri Rajarajeshwari, regardless of the scorching sun, leaving the onlooker spellbound. An hour-long journey of the splendidly decorated deity around the car street winds up at the main arch of the ashram. After the usual formalities are completed, the car is pulled with utmost care and devotion. The processional deity is brought back to the sanctum sanctorum. The concluding part of the car festival in the evening is equally significant. The weapon deity, the Astra Devata, is given a holy bath for leading the processional deity round the car street as a symbolic inspection to ensure the safety of the path covered by the car. This is called Rathavidhi Vikshana. Churnotsava. marks the conclusion of the festivity with a special ceremonial bath to the deity with pounded turmeric and other ingredients. The festivity of Brahmotsava, which started with the symbolic Ankurarpana or sowing of sprouted seeds, comes to a formal conclusion with the revoking of the sacred vessels Kalasha filled with sanctified water.
कल्याण्यै प्रणतां वृद्ध्यै सिद्ध्यै कुर्मो नमो नमः.
These consecrated pots of sanctified water are carried with reverence to the Sanctum Sanctorum for giving the Divine Mother a holy bath.
सारायै सर्वकारिण्यै ख्यात्यै तथैव कृष्णायै धूम्रायै सततं नमः. अतिसौम्यातिरौद्रायै नतास्तस्यै नमो नमः.
To mark the closure of the sequence of the festivities in connection with the Brahmotsava, the weapon deity Astra Devata is given a ceremonial bath. The chief priest takes a complete dip called Avabhrita Snana in the well containing holy water brought from different rivers, lakes, oceans, and carries one pot of water to be sprinkled on the deity. Mahaswamigal is escorted from his peaceful kutiram yet again to the venue of Tirthavari, the Samprodakshana in front of the Devi hall. The processional deity or Utsavamurti of the Divine Mother is brought to the venue to coincide with the graceful appearance of Mahaswamigal on the scene. The reunion is charged with an aura of sanctity. The whole venue is swarming with devotees in anticipation of blessings of Vainateya or Garuda, the holy eagle circling in the sky.
This is a miracle occurring without fail every year, establishing the sanctity of this great festival organized by His Holiness.
नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः. या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता. नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो.
The curtain is drawn to a close with the flag down ceremony called Dvajavarohana. The whole seasonal festival of Vasanta Navaratri Brahmotsavam leaves an indelible impression on the minds of countless devotees about the tradition that our ancient sages have set to keep the temple culture aglow eternally. And this speaks volumes of the keen interest evinced by Mahaswamigal, who is a torchbearer of the Sanatana Samskriti, the eternal culture.
For the Rajarajeshwari temple as well as Sri Kailasa Ashrama, Vasanta Navaratri is a historic event.
Vasanta Navaratri, coupled with Punarvasu star, is the hallmark of the spiritual saga of Sri 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 Shivaratnapuri Mahaswamigal. For that was the day on which His Holiness was born, and that is the day on which Sri Ramanavami falls. On Friday, the 11th of April 2003, the 75th birth anniversary of Mahaswamigal, who is held in high reverence as the avatar or incarnation of Ambal, a Paramahamsa and a Parivrajaka, is celebrated in great devotional ecstasy. This is an indisputable, ample proof of the abundant love the Divine Mother displays towards every soul that she has given birth to. And here is the living form of the Divine Mother, Sri 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 Shivaratnapuri Mahaswamigal, who has carried her mission of universal brotherhood. Udara Charita Namtu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam.
The holy feet of Mahaswamigal, the silent messenger of love and devotion, have tread the length and breadth of the globe, rendering the air fragrant with spiritual incense.
Interaction with countless saints, thinkers and dignitaries is a prominent part of the sublime mission of His Holiness Mahaswamigal in promoting the exalted values of the Sanatana Dharma, equally appreciating the values of other faiths. His Holiness Mahaswamiji has arranged for the training of prominent sannyasins to assume the role of monastic chiefs and discharge their responsibility towards the society. Among them are at present 10 heads of monasteries: Shri Adi Chunchanagiri, Shri Hemakuta Gayatri Pitha, Shri Kanaka Pitha, Shri Valmiki Mahasamsthana, just to name a few. A peep into the unfathomable realm of spirituality which this illustrious saint of Vikramasinghapuram has delved into leaves one shell-shocked with awe and reverence. From a tiny tot, Palaniswami, playing with the indigenous clay doll of the Divine Mother on the banks of Tamraparni, to attaining sainthood as Shri Shivaratnapuri Bhagavat Padacharya, it is a long and unwinding saga of myth and miracle. Born on the 29th of March 1929 under Punarvasu, Swamiji was blessed to lead the humanity to salvation with the first call given by Amavasai Swami. Later, his encounter with a Kapalika mendicant named Naikutti Swami was a sort of spiritual backup to the earlier call. When Swamiji brought an erratic temperamental elephant to a grinding halt in Sri Lanka, the locals there were not only inspired, but they also recognized the sainthood in His Holiness. A visit to the Adams Peak in Kandy, otherwise known as Shivanadi Padam, was a turning point in Swamiji's life. An apparition woke him up at midnight, took him up the hills, revealed her identity as the Divine Mother, and directed him to go to the north in search of his Guru. Journey to Nepal, though hazardous, was meticulously planned, and no holy place was left unvisited before reaching the holy abode of his Guru, Shri 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 Shivapuri Baba in Kathmandu. On being initiated into sannyas and rechristened as Shivaratnapuri Bhagavat Padacharya, Swamiji chose the Paramahamsa way, which he could part with the Danda and Kamandala and the other paraphernalia. Swamiji himself opted to wear the spotless white robe symbolizing pristine purity. At the behest of his Guru, to spread the message of universal brotherhood through pure and unblemished life and adopting the ancient values to meet the modern needs, Swamiji started his journey southwards. Sri Kailas Ashrama, a sacred sanctuary where 4 decades ago a sapling of the spiritual seed was planted, nurtured and revered by the Swamiji, is today the nerve center of all spiritual activities. This is the main structure in the ashram precincts with the prayer hall called the Devi Hall, the sanctified place where the devotees congregate for offering Pada Puja to Swamigal as well as worship the Divine Mother within the ashram. On either side of the ashram are preserved the ancient Munishwara and Ganapati temples, as it is the wish of Swamiji to respect the sentiments of local devotees. And this is the Kutiram, the place where each one would long to spend moments in solitude with His Holiness. The place where His Holiness gives darshan, enabling sparshan and inspiring sambhashan. Each structure is a manifestation of the divine. The cattle shed, the Goshala, is enshrined with the sculpture of Kamadhenu, the wish-fulfilling celestial cow. Milk obtained here is used for Abhishekam as well as the preparation of the prasadam. Love and patronage of ancient tradition is evident in the Vedagama Samskrita Pathashala.
This is a school where scriptural worship is taught in all four traditions: Shaiva, Shakta, Pancharatra and Vaikhanasa. Students are drawn from all sects and communities without any distinction whatsoever.
The ashram does not just breathe the praise of the Divine Mother in isolation. Every activity of the ashram is directed towards the Divine Mother, executed with all humility and utmost care, especially the architectural aspects of the temple and ashram.
Work is now underway for the construction of the 108 feet Rajagopuram and is in fast progress.
This is undertaken under the skilled supervision of Sri Sattanatha Stapati of Devakottai, the chief sculptor. Woodworkers execute pieces of divine art with deft hands. The expert carpenters work on all woodworks commissioned for the temple and ashram by Mahaswami. The smithing, an important aspect of the temple and temple architecture, is where dazzling fine coverings of gold and silver is worked on by the metalsmiths. The devotion and skills of the artists is beyond measure. The ashram's social awareness is amply evident with imposing educational institutions known as Sri Rajeshwari Vidyashala and Sri Jnanakshi Vidyaniketan, which have grown by leaps and bounds in the field of initiating the poor into 3 R's. Healthcare, being a priority concern for Mahaswamiji, has inspired the development of a compact yet well-equipped charitable hospital in the vicinity. The Rajarajeshwari Kalyana complex comprises of Meenakshi Hall and Padmavati Hall. The 2 mantapas are dedicated to the Mahasamsthana for the fulfillment of its objectives. Mahaswamiji's life mission is twofold: cultivation of ancient tradition of seers or rishis, and the promotion of the spiritual values that characterize Indian culture. In order to carry out his mission, Mahaswamigal has established a number of branches of the Kailash Ashram. They are situated in Mysore, Hulkoti in Gadag district, Gonikoppal and Talkaveri in Coorg district, all set in serene surroundings. In Tamil Nadu, ashrams have been set up in Jagdala in Kannur district, Kaveri Pattanam, Tiruvannamalai and Karaikudi.
No wonder this noble soul who has crossed 74 springs deserves to be hailed and worshipped by countless devotees and disciples. This day is bound to light the lamp of knowledge and self-realization in the innumerable hearts of devotees who perceive and experience the all-pervading force of the Mother in the physical presence of Mahaswamigal. The unprecedented congregation of devotees and admirers in the Shivaratnapuri Bhavan, the venue of celebration, to witness the Jayanti revelry. Mahaswamigal, the ever-soft, tranquil figure of divine presence, is charismatically seated on a gorgeously bejeweled throne, befitting his exalted position as a guru, the redeemer of ignorance.
Vasantavalokahitam charantaha tirna swayam bhima bhavarnavam jana ahetunanyanapi tarayantaha.
This is followed by Shodashopachara Puja, a sequence of 16 ways of reverential worship like offering water, fruits, flowers and more amidst the chanting of the mantras. This is considered to be the most significant event in a devotee's life, which renders the soul Jivan Mukta, meaning relief from mortal bondage. The devotees are invited to the Annapurneshwari Mantapa and other dining halls where prasada is distributed on the occasion of the birthday of Swamiji.
The birth anniversary celebration gracefully winds up with a colorful procession of the deity of Sri Rajarajeshwari. Not far behind is another remarkably spectacular participation of His Holiness. His divine aura touching the multitude who have gathered there to receive his blessings. One can visualize that sequence of an abstract concept of the Supreme Force with its concretized version in the form of Sri Shivaratnapuri Mahaswamigal.
On his way round the Car Street, Swamiji himself revels in the ensemble of multicultural events like Dollu Kunita, Chendai Melam, Yakshagana, all representing different soils of the one holy land, that is Bharatavarsha.
Mahaswamiji's, right from the beginning, you find that he's extremely simple in every manner. His clothes are always white, and he doesn't adorn himself in any form of ornaments. And you find that his principles are very strict and followed to the last core. And Mahaswamiji always gives one message. He says, The only object of human life is to attain the Divine Mother in all her beauty and glory. And this can be achieved by only through performing one's duties in the form of dharma. Dharma may vary from person to person depending upon what responsibility he has. But the main dharma is, Swamiji recites from the Vedas, he says, Dharmam Chara Satyam Vada.
The 12th of December 2003 Friday witnessed another spectacular event in the history of temple culture. The Maha Samprokshanam of the Swarnagnana Vimana Gopuram of Sri Gnanakshi Rajarajeshwari Devasthanam. It was the Sankalpa of His Holiness Paramapujya Paramacharya Jagadguru Shri 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 Tiruchi Mahaswamigal, which had come true after a long and meticulous preparation lasting for more than 4 years. The Swarnagnana Vimana Gopuram of Sri Rajarajeshwari Devasthanam is the first of its kind in the whole of Karnataka and in India, chronologically next to the Ananda Vimana Gopuram of Tirupati. The celebration, which began on the 10th December 2003, was initiated by the Anugna from His Holiness Shri 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 Tiruchi Mahaswamigal. The celebration was followed by Sri Ganapati Homa, Vastu Shanti, Mrut Sangrahana, Raksha Bandhana, and Ashtottara Shatakalasha Sthapana Purvaka Shatachandi Homa, performed by eminent scholars. At this occasion, renowned Acharya Mahamandaleshwars from northern India and other saints were present to sanctify the celebrations. At the auspicious hour at 8:30 a.m. on the 12th of December 2003, Friday, the Mahapurnahuti of Shatachandi Homa took place in the divine presence of His Holiness and Mahamandaleshwars. Subsequently, the Pradhana Kalasha and Parivara Kalashas were carried into the temple, while the Mahasamprokshana Kalasha was taken up to the Swarnagnana Vimana Gopuram after being sanctified by the touch of His Holiness Shri 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 Mahaswamigal. At the auspicious hour at 9:30 a.m., amidst the heart-throbbing vibrations of Chendai Mela, Nadaswara, Pambai Udukai, Ganthanada and Jai Jaikar from thousands of devotees attended by 2 Garudas, the Mahasamprokshanam was performed to the delight of all onlookers. This was followed immediately by the Deeparadhana to Jagat Janani Jaganmata Sri Gnanakshi Rajarajeshwari, who was splendidly decorated by Swarna Kavacha and other ornaments. It was a real feast to the eyes. Another spectacular and historical event which preceded the Mahasamprokshana was the Pattabhisheka. The Pattabhisheka or ceremonial proclamation as successor was performed on the 11th of December 2003 at 8:30 a.m. to His Holiness Parama Pujya Jagadguru Shri 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 Jayendra Puri Swamigal, Dikshita Shishya of His Holiness Parama Pujya Srimad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Sachidananda Paramaswarupa Paramacharya Jagadguru Shri 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 Shivaratnapuri Bhagavat Padacharya Shri 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 Tiruchi Mahaswamigal. Shri Jayendra Puri Swamigal was always on the top rung of the ladder in all activities at school. After his formal schooling and college education, he completed his studies by turning a linguist, mastering several languages. At the age of 27, a transformation took place in him and brought him to His Holiness Shri Mahaswamigal. Initiated into sannyas by His Holiness Shri 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 Mahaswamigal without any external rituals or other paraphernalia. He was also named by His Holiness as Shri Jayendra Puri Swami. The Pradhana Navavarna Puja of Shri Chakra Mahameru was handed over to the young saint by His Holiness Shri 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 Mahaswamiji. Shri Jayendra Puri Swamiji started representing His Holiness Shri 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 Mahaswamiji at several social and spiritual gatherings. He accompanied Mahaswamiji in all his Vijaya Yatras, delivering eloquent discourses to devotees in almost all South Indian languages in addition to Hindi, English, German and Italian whenever the occasion arose. Finally, His Holiness Shri 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 Mahaswamiji chose him as his successor and arranged to perform Pattabhisheka to him in the presence of Mahamandaleshwars on the 11th of December 2003, Thursday at Sri Kailash Ashrama Mahasamsthana to the joy of everybody. With the Pattabhisheka of Shri Jayendra Puri Swamiji as his successor, His Holiness Shri 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 Mahaswamiji has established the link to the next generation, thereby continuing the saga of glory of Sri Kailash Ashrama Mahasamsthana in the years to come.